Yo, welcome back. This is Support Via Quirk Larceny by Flapjack09. Chapter 8, Froppy Style. Of all the people Suyu could imagine sharing the walk to Mirko's agency with, she did not expect Midoriya to be one of them. The boy had made it plenty clear that he didn't want to be a hero, so she assumed he would choose an agency that would better suit his tech skills, something like Team Iraton or Airjet, but yet here he was, on his way to one of the least technologically advanced heroes she could think of. Midoriya? Yes, Asui? Izuku responded as he stared off into space. First of all, call me Sue, Ribbit. Second of all, I'm curious as to why you picked Mirko, of all people, for your internship. This jolted Izuku out of his absent stare. Oh, I just wanted to get stronger, you know? And Mirko's really good with that sort of thing. Sue raised an eyebrow. And why exactly do you want to get stronger? Does it have to do with my quirk? Izuku's posture shrunk a little. How did you know? I can feel you trying to pull my quirk, Croak. Izuku's arm quickly flailed around in embarrassment. Sorry, force of habit. It's a really bad habit to have. Izuku calmed down and slumped a little. Yeah, I know. Hopefully I can break it while we're here. Truth be told, Suyu knew she was in some way responsible for this new habit of his. He was pretty obviously bothered by the fact he couldn't take her quirk, but it's not like she could tell him why or anything. All Might made it clear that anyone who knows about One for All would be in immediate danger. Yet again, wouldn't having the same quirk as All Might's immortal nemesis also put you in immediate danger? Something to think about later. As right now, they had just arrived at Mirko's agency, which was just a random building. When Izuku knocked on the door, they heard a voice shout from the other side, "It's open!" When the duo opened the door, they were met with a large empty room completely covered in gym mats from the floor to the walls to the ceiling. In the middle of the room was Mirko in her hero costume, munching on a carrot while sprawled out on the floor. After a few moments of silence, Mirko yelled out, "Well, you gonna do something or not? I don't bite, at least not until provoked." Right. Izuku walked up and formally bowed. Thank you for giving me and my friend this opportunity, Mirko. Yeah, skip the formalities, Kit, and only call me Mirko on patrol. Right now, I'm Rumi. Rumi stood up and pointed at Suyu. Alright, Froggy, let me ask you a question. Why do you think I sent an internship request? Suyu put a finger on her chin. Because I beat up a Nomu at the sports festival, Ribbit. Rumi slugged Suyu on the shoulder. You're damn right. You were fucking badass out there, and as a certified badass myself, I took it as my civic duty to make you more of a badass, Rumi continued. I was brought up to speed on your super strength shit, so we got a load of ground to cover. Rumi pointed to the hallway behind her. There's a bathroom at the end of the hall. Change into your hero costume and we'll get started. As Suyu ran down the hall, Rumi turned and pointed to Izuku. And what about you, Mr. Quirk Larceny? Why do you think I picked you? Izuku decided to take a page out of May's book for his response. He straightened his posture as he drew out a sliver of confidence. I think you should be asking why I chose you. I want to get stronger in terms of both body and quirk, and I hope that you can help me with that. Rumi paused for a moment, then let out a boisterous laugh. Not bad, Kit, not bad. Truth be told, I just sent you a request so I could try fighting Quirkless again, but I'll help you out with this too. Rumi turned back to Suyu as she ran back into the room, clad in her hero costume. Alright, here's how this is gonna work. Froggy, originally, I was planning to beat the shit out of you until you learn how to fight back, but apparently, that's a human resources violation. She said the last part with air quotes. So instead, you and I are gonna spar, and you're gonna eat Matt so many times you'll have the taste stuck in your mouth for the rest of the month. Rumi's grin grew feral at that statement. As for you, Rumi whipped around to Izuku. Taco Bell, let me know about your call, so I prepared this in advance. Mirko handed Izuku a paper with the training regimen hastily scribbled on it. Izuku winced at the paper. Oh boy, that's a lot of push-ups. That's only the warm-up. Izuku felt something inside himself die. Alright. Rumi clapped her hands together. Let's get started. As Rumi and Suyu squared up on the mats, the rabbit hero's face lit up in remembrance. One more thing, Froggy. While you're in the ring, you gotta have your super strength active at all times. Suyu shrugged. Whatever you say, Ribbit. But just so you know, I can only do about 5% without breaking anything. Suyu's body tensed and began to emanate a faint glow while dark green spots popped up across her skin. Rumi gave an impressed whistle. Fancy. What do you call it? I'm thinking of call it fluorescence, since frogs do something similar when they absorb light and emit it as a different color. Cool. Now let's montage this bitch. Suyu tasted mat alright. She tasted a lot of mat. It tasted like avocado. Suyu hated avocado. After Rumi pinned her down for the 20th time, she got up and offered her hand. That one was not as bad. Let's do it again. As soon as Suyu took Rumi's hand, Rumi flipped Suyu over her head and slammed her into the mat. Ha! Got him! Rumi boasted. Lesson number 1. Trust no one. Suyu groaned as she got up by herself. Ribbit, then how can I trust you to teach me? Lesson number 2. Trust no one but me. How can I trust you when you just flip me over your head? Lesson number 3. I'm new to this teaching thing, so cut me some slack. As Izuku completed his 70th push-up, he realized there was a reason Rumi gave him so many that wasn't rooted in sadism. Since he had regeneration from the Nomu, his body could heal the muscle strain while he was exercising. As such, it took a lot more effort to make any progress while increasing muscle mass, so in the meantime, Rumi decided Izuku could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. While he was doing one-handed push-ups, Izuku could use the other hand to yoink and unyoink Rumi's quirk in quick succession. In exercise, he felt much more than the push-ups. As he exercised, while watching Rumi pin down Suyu yet again, Izuku decided to throw his friend a bone. The next time Izuku returned Rumi's quirk, he added on 2 extra quirks. This caused Rumi to seize all movement and go catatonic, allowing Suyu to pin Rumi down for the first time that day. What? How the fuck did you do that? Rumi asked. After Izuku took back the quirks, she realized her current predicament. Izuku smirked. Most people can't handle more than 2 quirks at once, or else they'll lose all higher brain functions. Rumi glowered, which quickly turned into a sinister glare. Alright, you think you're funny? Think you're having yourself a little chuckle? Well, guess what? It's time for kicking practice. Rumi grabbed Izuku by the ear and dragged him over to the mats. And this time, we're using a moving target. Izuku quickly learned that despite being unable to feel pain due to shock absorption, he still did not like the feeling of his brain rattling around his skull after every kick. No, you're doing it all wrong, Rumi yelled to Suyu after she showed off her technique. Suyu gave a confused look. I thought my form on those kicks were alright, Ribbit. You ain't getting it, Kit. Do it again and I'll tell you where you went wrong. Izuku tapped his fingers together. Or you could not. Shut up. Suyu obliged, hitting Izuku with a low kick, a medium kick, and an axe kick. There, Rumi pointed out. You're doing the kicks, but that's all you're doing. You're going about this too pragmatically. Watch. Demonstrating, Rumi performed the same kicks Suyu just did, but used the momentum of each kick to lead into the next. Is it about how you can't steal it? Because I told you, I'm in the dark about that too. No, actually, you said your quirk made you, for lack of a better term, froggier. I was just wondering the full extent of that. What do you mean, Ribbit? I mean, I know you weren't limited to a single species of frog before, but I'm not sure you could do things like swallow your eyeballs. But now that your quirk's stronger, maybe you can tap into some of those otter frog powers. Suyu paused her kicking for a moment. You know, I never had the opportunity to test anything out. Then let's start now. Izuku pulled out his phone. I found an online article about weird frog abilities. Apparently, some frogs use their chest cavity as a resonating chamber to hear better. Try doing that. Suyu began concentrating on breathing through her chest. After a minute, she could faintly make out the sound of face hitting concrete. Rumi's beating someone up about 2 blocks away, Ribbit. Izuku scribbled something down in his notebook. Alright, I know you can already stick to the walls, but try camouflaging. Suyu pressed herself up against the mat and tried to imagine sinking into it. After a moment, her skin began to turn the exact same shade of the blue. Hey look, we match! Izuku changed to the same color using his own camouflaging quirk. Suyu's skin turned back to green as she stared at her hero costume. I'll have to make changes to my costume so it'll change with me. I'm sure May will be able to handle that. I wonder how she's doing on her internship. I must say, Hatsume, your automatic hair splicer has impressed me greatly, said Best Genius as he patted May on the back. That's what you get when you hire Hatsume Industries, May said as she posed triumphantly, hands on her hips. Get me the fuck out of this thing, Katsuki yelled from inside the hair splicer as it violently styled his hair. It's part of the job, Bakugo, Best Genius yelled out. Don't forget, beauty is pain, but reputation is forever. Anyways, Izuku continued, Wolverine frogs can apparently pop out claws from their legs made of their bones. Their tissue even has a healing factor. Suyu winced a little at that. I'll say that for emergencies, Ribbit. 1 broken arm is more than enough for a lifetime. Fair enough, but you should probably get back to kicking before Rumi gets back and makes you test that out. Suddenly, the pair heard a knock coming from the door. Suyu turned to the door and then back to Izuku. I don't think that's Rumi. She doesn't seem like the type to knock, Ribbit. When Izuku opened the door, he was met with a delivery man with blonde hair and a mustache. Package for Izuku Midoriya. Just sign here, the delivery man said. Of course, thank you. Izuku went to sign the paper, but then stopped to read the fine print. Wait a minute. This is a contract for the HPSC. Izuku looked up at the delivery man, then ripped off his mustache to reveal a familiar face. Hawks? Izuku's shocked face quickly morphed into a smug grin. Oh, you. Hawk shrugged as he flashed a cheeky smile. Ha, you got me. They both shared a good laugh before Izuku quickly and unceremoniously slammed the door in the hero's face. Later that night, Mirko and her 2 interns were on patrol in Hosu, hopping from rooftop to rooftop. Why are we in Hosu, Ribbit? Suyu asked. Ever since the hero killer was spotted in Hosu, more heroes have been patrolling the area, so that means there's less overall crime, Mirko answered. Okay, but why do you bring Izuku with us? I thought he didn't want to be a hero. I don't, Izuku responded. After the sports festival, a hero is the last thing I want to be. I swear, if one more person calls me a hero, I think I'm gonna lose it. You didn't answer my question. Oh, right. I wanted to test out the maneuverability of my newest support item. What do you think of the Bun Bun Boots? Mirko groaned at the name. If you're gonna base an item off my likeness, at least give it a less sucky name. Fine. What do you think of Lagomorph loafers? Before anyone could comment, both Suyu and Mirko made a sudden stop on a rooftop, catching Izuku by surprise. "I heard a scream," said Mirko. "Me too," Suyu replied. "Wait, I don't have a hearing quirk." Izuku quickly yoinked Mirko's quirk and heard the scream they were talking about. "Okay, I heard it. You two go while I stay here," and Izuku was cut off as Mirko and Suyu ran off to the source of the scream, giving Izuku a small shock. "Wait, Mirko, you forgot your quirk!" Izuku yelled as he chased after them. When the trio made it to the alleyway where they heard the scream, they were met with the hero killer standing over Suyu's classmate, Ida, while another hero was slumped against the wall. Immediately, Mirko wasted no time running up to Stain and sending a kick to his stomach, which Stain deflected with his katanas. "Ha! Is that all you got? That was hardly a paper cut," Mirko boasted. "A paper cut's all I need," Stain said before licking the tip of the blade. Suddenly, Mirko fell to the ground face first, unable to move. Mirko tried to say something, but she couldn't on account of her face being smushed on the concrete. "Rumi!" Izuku shouted. "Ida!" Suyu exclaimed. "What are you doing here, Ribbit?" "I came for revenge," Ida yelled out in response. "Get the heroes out of here. This is my fight." Stain shoved Ida aside with his foot. "Ignore him. I crippled his brother, and he was just another fake out on a revenge quest." Izuku snapped his fingers in recognition, seemingly forgetting that he was 10 feet away from a serial killer. "Oh, right! Ingenium!" The news of his injury and retirement was overshadowed by the sports festival accident. "Sorry we didn't notice sooner, Ada." "Yeah, we're sorry, Ribbit," Suyu said guiltily. "Yes, the sports festival," Stain said, a wild smile reaching his face. "You two fought off the villains that tried to kill All Might. You are both true heroes. You may live." Izuku let out a deep snarl at that statement. "What did you say?" "I said you two were true heroes." Izuku let out a fierce roar. "I am not a hero!" He said, blindly charged at Stain, who responded the same way any normal person would and tried to stab him. However, when the katana made contact with Izuku's skin, it shattered upon impact. Izuku took note of this and immediately went out of his rage state. "Sorry about that. Try again." Flabbergasted, Stain complied, swinging his other katana at Izuku, which also shattered upon impact. "Oh, try again," Izuku encouraged. Stain thrust a dagger at Izuku, which shattered. "Try again." He struck him again on the head with a broadsword, which shattered. "Try again." He tried decapitating him with a butcher's knife, which shattered. "Try again." While this was happening, Suyu charged up fluorescence and activated her camouflage, while she stuck to the walls of the alley. Once she had a steady grip, she climbed around Stain until she was facing his back. She then extended a pair of bone claws from her right hand. Ignoring the pain, she jumped off the wall and slashed Stain on the back, causing a comically large amount of swords and blades to fall out of his person. "My swords of justice!" Stain exclaimed, but before he could do anything else, he was hit with a low kick from Suyu. Before he could breathe, she used the momentum of the low kick to hit him with a middle kick and then used that same momentum to release a devastating axe kick. "Rainforest Smash!" Suyu yelled as her foot made contact with Stain's head, knocking him out. "Good job, Sue!" Izuku gave a thumbs up as he gave 2 quirks to Stain, guaranteeing he wouldn't be able to get up. "There, saved you a bunch of trouble of tying him up." At that point, Stain's blood quirk wore off, and everyone who was paralyzed on the ground got up. "Great job there, kits." Mirko patted Izuku and Suyu on the back. "I didn't see what happened, but I bet it was badass." "I mostly just stood there," Izuku commented enthusiastically. "Now, for you," Mirko turned to Ada, who was looking rather ashamed. "I'll cover this up so it doesn't ruin your career, but what the fuck were you thinking?" Ida began bowing profusely. "I apologize for my action. It is only now I realize the harm they have brought to both me and my friends." Apology accepted, Ribbit, Suyu said. It was a minor inconvenience at best, and I'd rather get it covered up. I don't need the attention. And I don't want the attention, Izuku chimed in. Anyways, Mirko continued, you may not be facing any legal action, but I'm still gonna punish ya. Mirko bared that iconic feral smile. You're gonna have spar with me for 3 hours straight. Ida let out a nervous gulp. Oh dear. After being slammed against the mat for the 50th time in an hour, Ida decided he was no longer like the taste of avocado. And that was chapter 8. Even though, there were more mess-ups than I wished there was. And, yeah. But I hope y'all enjoyed. And I'm just gonna say, I have had a song stuck on my mind this entire while reading this entire chapter. And if y'all haven't listened to Epic the Musical, I highly recommend it. And so, yeah, I'm going to go to bed and hopefully try and post a video tomorrow, but we'll see. Because it's almost 5 in the morning. It's 4:48, whatever. And I will see you guys later. Bye.